Howdy folks. Weekend morning shave. Yesterday went to the high school football game. You can kind of tell I got a little bit of sun. It was a great time. A lot of people showed up. I think I heard like maybe 15,000 tickets were sold. It was a lot of fun. No, my team didn't win, but it was a great game to watch. Got something I want to throw out there. Got a couple of things actually. First one is, does anybody know anything about this blade? I only got one and it came with a razor. And according to the back side, and I'm not real sure how to pronounce it. I don't know if that's going to show up or not. Zaza? Not sure exactly how you pronounce that. That's Z-A-Z-A. And it looks like it comes by the way of Turkey. And in other words, before I try my one and only blade that I have like this, I was want to see if I can find some more. In other words, I didn't want to be, how can you say, disappointed. I tried it, I like it, now I can't find any more of them. And this one here is going to be the blade of the day. And this one here comes by the way of India, and it's a SuperMax, super stainless, and I believe the company's name is Vidyut. Not sure how you pronounce that one. I'm going to put that in the razor today. Razor of the day comes by the way of Metalworks, and I'll have a link down below where you can check out his fine wear here. This is a, if I remember right, the Fat series. This is aluminum, and yes, it is just that big. And the head on this is patterned after, if I remember correctly, 1965 Gillette Tech, and I'm going to go ahead and put the blade in it. The design of the head, like I say, is patterned after it. I don't know how much of this you can see, but there's the bottom of it right there. You can kind of see the resemblance of a Gillette Tech, and there is what the bottom underside of the cap looks like. And so you've got those notches on each corner, and to help hold the blade in place. This particular shaver, patterned after the Gillette Tech, is a, in other words, it would be considered a mild shaver. Probably for somebody starting out, or somebody that's wanting just a smooth, comfortable shave, close to being effortless, this would be a good starting point for them. Matter of fact, this might be the only razor they ever get, because when I've shaved with it, it is very smooth and comfortable. And this particular design that has been worked up, patterned after the Gillette Tech head, the alignment, I've never had a problem with the alignment. Drop it in there, put the handle on there, lines up perfect every time. And you notice there is no overhang. There's none there, so that makes it even better for somebody that's trimming up underneath the nose, some tight areas. You don't have to worry about that overhang catching your nose. I like this handle. I have a number of handles that I just really enjoy. This one here, because of the diameter, it's not a heavy. Since this is aluminum, it's not heavy. It's fairly lightweight, but I do like that diameter of the handle. It just fits better in my hand. I like them. The smaller ones, for me, it takes a little bit more to, I guess you might say, to hang on to. I've already put a hot towel to the face, took the bloom water, and the bloom water came from Donald's soap here. This is Wet the Face Tobacco Rose. And the consistency of this soap, oh, by the way, this is 4 ounces of soap. Yeah. And that's what it looks like on the inside, and it is very soft. It is very soft. I would have to say that this is closer to a cream, a crope. It is very soft. Easy to lather up. Matter of fact, I'm using using a Metalworks brush, and there we go. looks like, and you can kind of see it just whips up really nice. This is, I guess you might say this might become close to what some refer to as a yogurt type consistency. It was easy to work up. Going to be following the shave up with the WTF Tobacco Rose also. I've got my trusty alum block with rubber band, and I just saw this morning, here's the witch hazel Humphreys with lilac scented. I've been a little remiss off and on about not showing my my beard care. So before I forget again, because it's always just sitting right here when I'm doing my shave, I'm using the spirited blend of this beard butter, and there's not a whole lot left in here. It's, as you can tell, I'm getting very close to the bottom of it, so I'm going to finish this one out before I move on to another one. But as it goes for that name brand, I've got another one already in the works, and this one here is the Wise Man's Blend. And coming closer to December, probably you'll be seeing this one. Some of the scent, excuse me, some of the scents I really do enjoy. For instance, I have a Sterling's beard oil that's orange. I like the orange. Sometimes, you know, that citrus, you know, for the day is pretty nice. And I've got this one here from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, and I have 2 bottles of this one. I like the dropper. It makes it a lot better. For me, sometimes when I'm trying to control, I just want a certain amount. It makes it easy to do that way. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and wet the face here. Get lathered up. But that game, it was, how can you say, very well done. They took, how can you say, full advantage of ESPN being there with showcasing the band, which is referred to as the Pride. If I remember correctly, this past year they made it to the Rose Parade in California. They've won a few awards for their efforts, I guess you might say. The soccer team was recognized also for winning state. It's, you know, our town's not real big, and we're just right outside Tulsa. And of course, you know, like a lot of these suburbs, you know, that there's times as you're traveling through Tulsa, you don't even realize that you just went into like Jinx, or you just went into Broken Arrow or Sand Springs, and to the north of us is Owasso. Sometimes, you know, you don't really realize that you've left one town and went into another one. I would have to say for the state of Oklahoma, this northeast corner, also referred to as Green Country, I guess you might say is the mecca for football. And as you can tell, we're also stepping up in soccer also. Here goes first pass. And since there's the band that has been recognized and has been, I guess you might say, making inroads to being at the top of the list, that I'd have to say is working well for our little community. I guess from also what I understand is that there's even a few states like Arkansas that's even taking a look at the at how they're conducting our band. I guess you might say it's an example for others. The scent on this soap is, I definitely pick up the rose scent. It is not a problem. I pick up that scent without an issue, even with my nose. Had a lot of fun at the game. Took my, I have a Nokia phone, Microsoft, and it has a built-in FM tuner radio, and I listened to the commentary as well as, of course, I'm there at the game. That made it very interesting. This is a very smooth shaver. I really like this head, especially on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning, on the weekend in other words. I have been considering, matter of fact, coming up in the month of September will be a single edge, September SE, single edge, and so today will be one of those days where I'm going to start working on planning out my shaves. And I'm thinking, and Don, he published his video yesterday, Saturday, and I'm going to put a link to his video here so that a person can see his technique in shaving with a DE. And he's not always using the same razor, but he does use the he refers to it as the German Slant 37. In other words, it came from Razor Rock. And that head comes with different handles, and the one I have has a bamboo handle. And I'm still not too sure about that handle, but I've swapped it out, excuse me, when I have shaved with it with a handle from Metalworks. And thinking about when I start with the month of September of using his method of shaving, which will give me an opportunity, which I'm still kind of struggling with, using his method. And what I'm struggling with is that I have different single edge razors, and to put every last one of these shaves on YouTube might be a bit much. So if you're interested in seeing some of these shavers, you'll probably have to follow along on the blog, or you can I have moderator of a Google Plus site, Artisan Shaving, and I'm on Facebook here, there, and everywhere, so that and Instagram. So it shouldn't be too tough to follow along if you're interested in seeing some of these different single edge shavers. I've got one in particular that shaves very close to this Gillette Tech head, but it's a single edge. In other words, it takes those blades that gym shavers do, and it is a very comfortable shave. Even with that blade, I feel like that one there would be great for anybody just starting out that may not be too sure about that blade on how it feels. The way that one was designed, it's a very smooth, comfortable shaver, but it has no name to it. There's no stamping on it, none whatsoever. And it was, I got this through buying a lot of razors on eBay, and I got a hold of this one here, and it's like, I love it, it's fantastic, but there's no name stamped on it, there's no nothing. So I have no way of telling anybody who made it, what to look for. Outside it looks like, then I show you the razor, what it looks like. I mean, it is a very mild shaver. It would be one of those that a person could shave with on a daily basis, and you wouldn't, as long as your technique is up to speed, you don't have any problems with irritation, weepers, or anything of the sort. Like I say, it's very much like this. I guess you might say it was well designed, in my opinion, considering. This right here is bit tougher to get under control. It's thickly populated right there. Yeah, that single edge shaver, I tell you what, and it looks an awful lot like a gem, and it is an open comb, but a number of the gems that are open comb per se still has that bar going across the teeth, and this one doesn't have that. Those teeth, the comb is just wide open, which might concern some people. It looks aggressive, but it's not. I have injectors also that I'll be shaving with throughout the month. I have let's see here, it goes through the alphabet. I got some E's and G's and J's, and I think maybe an I. I can't, I'll have to look again. That's the reason why I want to plan it out, so that way I've got all the information gathered up. And I'll try to work up, try to remember to consistently include the, I guess you might say, the source of me trying to figure out what year it was made. And any other information that might be important. For instance, some of them, sometimes, you know, when you look at these, you're looking for information. Did it come in a case? If so, what did the case look like? Because, you know, some of these, you could put that same razor in two different cases and it'll fit, but when this one came out, it came out with one with this color, and then this one came out with that color, or whatever the case might be. It's a good thing somebody else is aware of it, because that's a lot of research. You have to find a lot of pictures that would be, how can you say, dated of the time. Advertisements. Not that that's not fun, because I enjoy looking at them. Excuse me. That's history. It does give you a little bit more confirmation about when these were available and how they were being marketed. This soap is very slick. That's one thing I want to practice with Donald. When he does his lather, he just does one lather. And he shaves, in other words, according to the growth of his beard in that one lather. And I think that's what I'll try to practice when I start shaving throughout the week with the SE. Still going to be shaving with the Shavette and the DV. The timing is going to be a lot different through the bulk of the week. I'll be shaving with the SE, and then on a Saturday or a Sunday, probably the Saturday I'll be shaving with the Shavette, and then of course Sunday with the DE, and then December we'll be going through the same thing. Just flipping it around. Maybe kind of hard to tell, but this knot is a synthetic knot in this brush. Smells great. It's kind of nice to be able to smell it as you're applying it to your face. You can tell I'm still excited about yesterday. It was a lot of fun. There is a little bit of feedback on this. Blade seems to be doing just fine. Tell you this much, you don't have to worry about slickness of cushion with this soap. You can tell that, in my opinion, you can tell Don, he had his fingers in the making of this soap. If you ever wonder about it, did the guy ever have much say. Oh yeah, especially with his style of shaving, this soap, it fits it just perfect. If you're kind of wondering about my stretching, for me, it works better to, I guess you might say, I definitely usually, not always, but usually, if I'm going to be stretching with a DE razor, it has more of a tendency to be on the across the green pass and against the green pass. This is good soap. I got another one that came along with this one that I think I'm going to have to use in a video too. For me, now for somebody else it may not be that way, but this other soap I got is a very unique scent to me. It'll be interesting to see how that one whips out when you lather it up. Even though this is a mild shaver, didn't get a BBS, of course, because there's certain areas I know I have to work a little bit more in order to get to that point, but it's still a very close shave. Smooth and comfortable. I bet you the alum block isn't going to have a whole lot to say. These are good shaves, especially for the weekend, especially when you've been out in the sun and got a little red. Alum block with rubber band. Very nice shave today. This is good soap. I like this one. Speaking of, I'm going to step over here real quick. I got 2 samples in that mail call, and not that you can tell the difference between the two, but this one here he labeled as Taboo. This is a new scent that's coming out. I got a sample here, and I'm probably going to use this one on Monday and this one on Tuesday. This one here has not been named just yet, and I'm going to give them a try. Excuse me. The consistency of this soap reminds me of this soap that I just used today, this Tobacco Rose. And the scent of both of them, I really like them. I doubt that you'll find a, in other words, just off the shelf in the store, a cologne or aftershave that'll match this. But I think with these two, you probably, if your nose is that savvy, mine's not, you might find something to come close. In other words, I think it's more of a cologne scent in my opinion, which I like both of these. This one here, I smell something that smells familiar to me, but I'll be darned if I can put my finger on it. Some days it's like that. Going with the Witch Hazel, Humphreys, Lilac. If you haven't seen one of my videos before, my opinion on the scented Witch Hazel is that I can smell it when I first put it on and briefly afterwards, but the scent has a tendency to dissipate per my nose. It might be there for somebody else's nose, but for mine it's just there, here and gone, so I don't worry about it trying to interfere with the aftershave scent or anything like that. Considering I got all that sun, my face is not feeling too terribly bad. Kind of surprised. My head's awfully red. Here's the aftershave. Oh, and this is a glass bottle, by the way. Something that you know that's nice. I like having the glass bottles. I did. This is my first time opening it, and I got it about the bottle about chest level, and I can already smell it. I love this scent. For me, how can you say, I like a rose scent. The first time I ever used a rose scent was Vidyut, and I wasn't too sure whether I'd like a rose scent or not, and I was really surprised on how much I really do like it. It's not quite the scent I remember when I was a kid from my grandmother. And if you're wondering what the restrictor looks like, there you go. It's not real big, it's not real small. It smells great. Glad I got this one. That pretty much wraps it up with my shave once again. Now I got some soap all over it. I'll end up cleaning this one up. This is from Metalworks, and the head was patterned after a 1965 Gillette Tech head, and used a blade in it. SuperMax, and of course that was the first time I used the blade. Soap and aftershave of the day. If you're interested in a rose scent, tobacco rose scent, might be interested in this one here. The texture of this soap is just fantastic. And yes, I still got plenty here in my bowl, which is a hibachi bowl. Probably can't see those grooves in there, but that's the kind of bowl it is. This one here has an inlay from Mac. Has a nice weight to it. I like this one here, but you can kind of tell. There's plenty of shaving cream for a whole nother shave. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.